Before we tune in, we light our candle or the oil lamp in front of us. And once you did this, bring your hands into prayer pose. Follow the inflow and the outflow of your breath. And just imagine you're breathing with Mother Earth, because Mother Earth is expanding and contracting all the time, like we are. Imagine you're breathing with her. And we inhale to begin. Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mitroma Amritangamaya Aum Shanti Shanti Shanti. Inhale, suspend your breath. And we exhale. Interlacing our fingers, bringing our arms overhead. Placing our hands onto our crown. Leaning over to the left on the inhalation. Exhalation, come to center. Inhale to the right. See that your elbows are pointing slightly back. Keep the opposite sit bone either on the chair or on the ground. So the first chakra and the seventh chakra are being in touch right now. The first with the ground or the seat below you. The seventh covered by your hands. Creating more stillness. Last one. When we come to center, we bring our arms out to the side, parallel to the floor, palms facing up. That is my inhalation. On the exhalation, I just bring my fingertips to my shoulders. Then I inhale and I have the back of my hands touched behind my head. I exhale, my upper arms come back parallel to the floor. I inhale, I extend my arms fully out to the side. I inhale in the arm extension, bringing my fingertips on the exhalation to my shoulders. Inhale, back of my hands touch behind my head. Exhale, forearms come back down, upper arms come back down. So it's inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Really lift your diaphragm up. Especially when it's raining and we're sitting a lot in the house. Our body needs to move. your head up, so that the back of your hands can touch behind. One more time. And then we interlace our fingers, placing them onto our forehead. Elbows come up, out to the side. Inhale, twist left, exhale right. We come to center. Inhale. Exhale, rest your hands onto your knees. If you sit on the chair, remember just bring your knees right apart. Sufi grind. Inhale, arch forward. Exhale, round back. And pay especially attention to your lower back here. Like I just mentioned, you're sitting a lot these days. So the lower spine gets very compressed. You're reversing the direction. And you slowly come to center, holding on. So if you sit on the chair, bring your knees closer together, rest your hands on top of your knees. If you sit on the ground, bring your hands to the ankle in front. Spinal flex, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Have your emphasis on your exhalation when you round backwards. Last time. Come sitting straight. Left hand into your lap. Left palm is facing upward. Right arm comes up. Right hand is facing our face. You bend your index and middle finger all the way down. Thumb is extended to the side. Pinky and ring finger touch. You close your right nostril and you exhale out of your left. You inhale through your left. Close the left nostril with the inside of your ring finger. Hold the breath for a moment. Open the right nostril, exhale right. Inhale right. Close the right nostril. Open the left, exhale. Inhale. And continue this breath pattern at your own pace. Exhale the next time out of your left nostril. You will bring your right hand on top of your left. Tip of your thumbs are touching. And then you start gazing at your light in front of you. Keep a gentle gaze. And gently close your eyes. Still connecting to the light in front of you. Bringing our hands back to prayer pose. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Siddhi. Let me move my chair closer. There, that's nice. Namaskaram. Good morning, ladies. Happy 2023. I missed you last week, but I am here this week. So welcome to our 2023 Zoom Soul Room. Here we are, gathering. I love it. Today, we're going to talk about being a warrior, women as warriors. So often, mostly through history, men are considered the warriors, and it is considered a masculine and an aggressive and a maybe a bloody job to be a warrior. And as we look spiritually through the teachings and through the journey of goddesses, we see that the goddesses are as willing to step into this role in a historical way, in a mythological, in an archetypal way as men. So we should explore that for this year. We should explore how it is that we can show up in the world in ways that are beneficial as a warrior. So wherever we go, we can be a warrior. We can be a warrior for ourselves in what is appropriate for us in relationship, in our experience with the world. We can be warriors on behalf of, which I know all of us are, of our families, our children, and we can be warriors on behalf of our communities and, of course, on behalf of the planet. So we're called to step into this role of divine warrior in ways that are maybe unexpected. But when we put our intentionality and our intention and attention on it, we can see what an exquisite role and what like a cloak that we can wear that allows us to go into the world and express ourselves fully. Then in order to do that, we have to be a warrior. Women have to stand up and step in, and that takes a certain warrior attitude. So the tools for the warrior state that have been given to us, they've come through ancient teachings and they've come through contemporary challenges. So the challenges that are showing up in our personal individual life are unique from one to the next of us. But those challenges are our portals to being able to express and enter into the warriorship or warriorhood of our divine feminine. So some of the traditional tools that we've been given, meditation, observation, compassion, equanimity, intention, and things such as loneliness, sorrow, are all portals and tools for our warrior stance. Gratitude for sure. These are ways of us training ourselves to be in the warrior state in a gracious way, to show up in a way that embodies what the divine feminine stands for, which is not a laying down of our strength. It's a stepping into our strength and our power. So each of us has the need for our own unique set of tools, our tools for our life, tools for our health, tools for our calling, our dharma. And it's our job to identify what those tools and what our, where we're being called to step up as a warrioress. So we have to be observational in our lives to figure that out. It's not that difficult. Generally, those things are showing up front and center for us. But then when they do, to not step back from it, but to step into it. Women do warrior through a range of behaviors and responses. There's a hardness of rage that can come through us. There's a fierceness like the mother lion or the mother of any creature, mothers of human beings. We are very fierce when we're called to protect the young, our young. And the shakiness of fear, how fear can enter us and actually debilitate us physically to where we are physically shaking. These all appear, but with intention rather than reaction, we're able to use these as our opportunities to step into where we are a warrior. So we have to allow ourselves to feel the rage and the disappointment when it comes. It's the catalyst for our change and our growth. So we don't step away from it. We don't turn away from it. We turn towards it and we try to sense what is it that I need to be acknowledging or stepping into or transforming. Where am I being called to transform something in my life, in the life around me? And allowing us to let it flow through us, it means that we take the truths of it, whatever that experience is, and the possibilities that exist in that experience, and we let go of the stickiness, the rage, the anger, the sadness. We let go of that but we hold on to what's necessary. So this is how we learn to separate the seed from the shaft. We have to separate the pieces that are driving us, but no longer necessary for the healing or whatever is called for. Let go of that. So things come in their own timing. And in order to get our attention, something has to be pretty sticky. Otherwise, it doesn't get our attention. But that stickiness, if we hold on to it, then we are so glued to this idea of what it is, we don't actually rise to the portal to move through it. So we need to have the seeds be the planted pieces that will be planted in our hearts for our continued growth and our expression into the world. So we plant the seeds of that and we leave the shaft or the stickiness to be left for compost, to dissolve and be part of that cycle, that natural cycle of creation where there's creation, dissolution, and recreation. That's the shaft. So if we don't separate out the seed from the shaft, we just end out with stickiness, muck. It gets goopy enough that nothing can actually surface out of it. So each of our battlegrounds will be looking different. Some, it might be in your family dynamics or some relationships within your family. It might be your health, your physical body may be your battleground. It may be your relationship with money. It may be your relationship with a spouse or a partner. It may be your heartache for the planet. It may even be your spiritual journey. We all have this idea that somehow the spiritual journey is this like pretty picture. Yeah, with the seeds, get the seeds, but let go of the shaft of it because it will otherwise drag you down in its stickiness and you won't be able to move through it. So the question becomes, where in your life are you being called to be a warrior and how are you responding? How we choose to see our call into this warriorhood will determine how we feel about life, how we choose to see this call. Are we in a random set of conditions over which we have no power or self-preservation? Or are we on the battlefield of life with courage and intention? There's a liveliness to this when we decide, when we choose to step into the messiness of the battlefield, we have a different relationship with that experience than if we are feeling that we're being forced into it. This is an attitude. This is something we can change. We can't change those external circumstances. We have to transform how we're in relationship with them. The aliveness of knowing that the battlefield is the sacred ground of our deepest unfolding is our aha moment. The battlefield is the sacred ground of our deepest unfolding. So we want to live into this warrior essence, into our fullest nature, which is revealed to us when we step onto the battlefield, not when we run away from it, but when we step into it with intention and with strategy. And we hold this warrior stance so that transformation will happen in and through us and around us. So this is a place we want to embrace because we want to be the transformative fire of change. We want to be the ones that are able to hold the heat of the fire, because that's what warriors do. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is one of the significant Hindu scriptures, some of the most poignant and seriously deepening and even elusive spiritual teachings have been expressed. And the entire narrative of this teaching takes place on a battlefield. So the timeless and universal message of the Gita is all-encompassing. It expresses truth. So ultimately, what are we here for? We're here for truth and reality. Until we step into that, our liberation can't happen. So if we're here to be liberated from this embodied creature that has all these wonderful experiences through the senses, but be liberated into the fullness of who we are, we have to be willing to step into that battlefield place where the transformation and the sacred ground will actually take us from the limitations of the body to the expansiveness of the whole. The Bhagavad Gita means the song of the spirit. It's divine communion with truth, and it takes place on a battlefield. Everything is a metaphor. So the battlefield is both a metaphor in our lives, and it also may feel like it's really your life. When you're taking on whatever challenges are happening in these different areas of your life, it feels like a battlefield sometimes. But if we change our mindset to understand that that intensity is that it's moved it up, the burner has been turned up on us, and the fire of transformation is heating up, this is a good thing, even though the situation and the circumstances may feel not that pleasant. But when we embrace it and when we look at it differently, we actually have a different experience with it. When I see that that's transforming me and I'm observational enough to notice what changes in me as I go through that fire, I go, oh, I'm not inviting it in. But when it comes, I'm not running from it, or I'm not trying to spin it into something else. I can say, this is the fire of transformation. This is my battlefield. That's okay. Battlefield is not a negative word. We have to remove ourselves from the masculine way of assuming a battlefield means that we've gone in to fight someone, and look at it from the divine feminine, that we've gone in to protect something, to reveal something, to acknowledge something. That's different. This is all in our mindset of how we're able to look at something. So we have to step into this fire of transformation and be the goddess of renewal, the goddess that you came into, to be the phoenix of resurrection. This is what we are. We're transforming and resurrecting into different forms based on what fire we've been put through. All of us on this call have had times in our life where the fire has been turned up really high. And I'm not one to say, oh, look at the benefit that came from that really unpleasant circumstance or situation. I don't look at it that way. I only look at what am I able to hold and how does that transform me? My transformation is the gift. I don't have to find silver linings in every disappointment. That's an interesting attitude, but it's a spin. And I don't want to spin my life. I just want to grow and deepen. I just want to expand. So we have to hold this assumption that we are a warrioress. We are a warrior on this battlefield of transformation. And it's a gift. And it's a beautiful thing. And we're going to separate the seed from the shaft, and we're going to transform from that. So we look at life, we can look at this year as this incredibly exciting and lively and vital year for us in our transformation, because only changes that we're going to change our attitude about how we see the battlefield that we live on. And we're going to see it as potential. That's all. So we're going to take this on intentionally through our attention to what's showing up in our lives. And it may be that your battlefield is kind of quiet. Like you say, well, I don't really have anything. So great, you get to look at more subtlety. Good for you, that's great. So now rise to that and look at the subtlety in your life. It doesn't have to to actually bowl you over in order to make it worthwhile. It may be something subtle. So the question is, are we going to be a warrior in this embodied journey and find the truths of existence and the reality of the cosmos and find the joy, the underlying joy in that? That's our inquiry for the week, is how are we going to step into that? And what are our tools to do that? Part of our tools are being part of a community where we can share how that journey looks for each of us, because it's different for each of us. It's not the same thing, but it's still all a journey of transformation. So let's take this week and let's enjoy whatever's coming. And let's observe, what is the battlefield that you're living on, walking on, learning on, teaching on? What does that look like? And how do you stay on that battlefield with a sense of commitment and a joyfulness? Because we understand it's part of the rhythm of life, and we don't have to hide it, change it, make a story about it, or run away from it. We can actually sit with it, and that will create the fire, and that will fan the fire that will transform us. And I want to hear about it from each of you, of how that's working, and reminding you that next week we will not be gathering, because many of us will be en route to our retreat. And most of you on this call are coming, but if you aren't coming and you find that you can come, I believe they still have some housing available. And we, of course, would love to have you join us.
Thank you, my dear. So there's a lot of water for most of us that surrounds us right now. It affects the water inside of us, and the water also has an impact on how we feel. So I thought it would be wonderful to do the Buddhi Mudra or the Varun Mudra. Both words are right. Bring the tip of your thumb to the tip of your pinky. That will balance and stabilize the water element within you. And then rest your hands either on your knees or your thighs.
Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Padme
So bringing your hands in prayer pose at your heart. We will chant closing Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the blessings of the warrior be yours, the warrioress. I am going to try to share this picture of my Poochiekins, our new baby.
Your grand dog.
My grand dog. That's exactly right. Can you see it?
Yes.
Isn't she cute? Her
Oh my.
name is Birdie.
Adorable.
I know, she's really cute and she's really good. She's not scratching me like this cat is doing. Anyway, ladies, have a beautiful week. I look forward to seeing you next week. And remember that life is a beautiful journey on this battlefield. It's really something, it's so alive. There's an aliveness on the battlefield. Join it.
Love to all. Bye-bye.
Bye.